Recorded live in Denver, this is the Super Meeting Podcast from Nexstar. Hello and welcome to the Super Meeting Podcast. My name is Nick Rao, digital marketing coach here at Nexstar, but today I am also your podcast host. I am joined today by Brad Scruggs of ZyraTalk, and Brad has... I was very intrigued when I saw your job title because I'm so used to seeing president and CEO. Like you see that all the time, but when yours came through, it was not president and CEO, it was president and CMO.
Correct.
So instantly I was intrigued by that. And so I wanted to dig in deep with you a little bit here and learn about that. Learn about kind of how you came up and developed into the president and CMO. So tell me about ZyraTalk's beginnings. Where did you see, where did you start finding things that you decided, you know what, ZyraTalk needs to exist. There's something here.
Yeah, so I'll give our story a little bit. So we've been in business for about 11 years now. So we've got a lot of experience in the trades, always have been working specifically with plumbing, HVAC, electrical companies. And we actually started 11 years ago as a lead gen company. It was called Great Pros. We were generating leads primarily in the Southwest, and it was thousands of leads per month that we were generating, and we were selling them to our contractor network. And at that time, we were spending all of this money on Google Ads and these different lead sources, and we were thinking, man, if we could increase our online conversions, you're a marketing guy, we were willing to test anything out. And at that time, everyone was using form fills. Keep in mind, again, this is 11 years ago. Everyone was using form fills, or maybe there was a phone number in the top right corner of your website to generate leads. And we were like, let's challenge that and see if we can try something else and just see what happens. So we actually built an automated chat for ourselves. This is now about 8 years ago. And we saw a noticeable increase in our online conversions. So we were like, you know what, let's give this away for free to some of our clients who are using us for leads. And we did it for like George Brazil, who's a Nexstar member, Chaz Roberts, big company.
One of the originals.
Yes, they are. Yeah. I know George Brazil was one of the people who started Nexstar.
Yes, actually. He was, yes.
So that was interesting. They were like, hey, you know, we're tracking the revenue here, and you're helping us generate $30,000, $50,000 a month in revenue just from chat on our website. So we were like, that's kind of interesting. It worked for ourselves. It's working for our clients initially. Let's maybe spin this off and see what happens. And that was chat at the time. It was completely automated. It was working. But we were also seeing data. For every chat someone was getting on their website, they were getting about 100 phone calls.
Okay.
So we were like, I wonder if we could automate phone conversations. Keep in mind, this is about 8 years ago. The technology was not the greatest.
We were still in phone tree mode. Not AI voice answering yet.
Very robotic as well. So we actually built something that you could talk to. I guess 8 years ago, it was the first like automated voice conversation that existed. But it was terrible. I'm not going to get super technical, but we were using IBM Watson's Intent Analyzer.
Okay.
An extremely robotic voice. It was something you could talk to. It wasn't integrated with ServiceTitan or any of these big FSMs. And we were like, you know what? Let's just keep running with chat. Technology is not here yet for voice. But we always kept in our mind, we have to get to the point where we can automate voice conversations because we were seeing the data of how many calls our clients were missing. And we have data from our marketing agency partners. Businesses miss anywhere from about 15% to 35% of their phone calls. And it's a crazy number to think. It's a pretty big range, but think of the revenue that is being left on the table for the amount of phone calls that are missed. Think of how much we are spending on Google Ads. Again, you're a marketing guy. The customer acquisition cost for Google Ads is very high. I've seen for some clients, it can be upwards of $400 per lead. And just for a click, it can be $100 plus. If you type in sewer repair near me, click on the top one, that company is going to pay over $100 just for the click. Mm-hmm. So we realized very quickly we need to solve the problem of missed phone calls. And the technology evolved. We got there about 3 years ago or so, started rolling out our AI voice product along with chat as well. And we have hundreds of thousands of phone conversations going through our platform every single month at this point. So a lot of volume, a lot of scale, and it's extremely exciting. We're still growing fast. We onboard about 30 to 50 new clients per week. So a lot of growth still. Yeah.
Got it.
So staying busy.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear. And yeah, your story kind of reminds me a little bit of like that superhero story of like, hey, you were trying to find out these powers and you're seeing these opportunities in the world for things to be better. And listening to the Nexstar members and kind of hearing what they have, and sometimes even listening to yourself and seeing how you could create a better world for yourself and then share that with others.
Yes.
So super cool that you kind of have that and did that. But obviously, like in any good superhero movie, there's going to be challenges. There's going to be things that you run into, problems that and you kind of alluded to one, like, hey, we put these things together and they just did not work. Tell us a little bit more about like, what were some of the challenges that you had to experience and work through?
Yeah. So for us, few challenges, and I'll touch on a few, but man, people in the room, I mean, you guys have probably all started your company or operating, and there's challenges and fires to be put out every single day. But when we first rolled out the AI voice product, a problem initially was latency. So the time in between responses, it was about 8 seconds. Not a very natural feeling conversation, but it was to the point where our clients are like, you know what? This is at least solving the problem for us of missed phone calls. We're getting to every phone call now, but the experience for our customers needs to improve. So thankfully, we've gotten to the point where we have over-optimized for latency. But at that time, there was 8 seconds latency. So we put a typing noise in between responses. So it'd be like, hey, thanks for calling XYZ Plumbing. How can I help you? The customer would say something. There would be an 8-second delay. So we would let the AI think, and then there would be a typing noise, and then it would respond. And it wasn't the most natural feeling initially, but we got there. Now it's very natural feeling, and in some cases it'll interrupt, which is another challenge in itself. So for certain geos or older populations, we have ways to understand when someone is done speaking, or we can even put certain delays in the response. So that was one challenge, and it's an ongoing thing. You want the best conversations possible for the customers on the other end, because that's what all of our clients want. They want their customers to experience the best conversation, because at the end of the day, that's their brand and their reputation. So anyway, yeah.
That's a really interesting story, and it reminds me of kind of one of the things that I've heard in the world of marketing is that we're not just solving for a specific problem, that we really do have to get down to the root of it. And I know that like our industry is great at doing that. Hey, we're not just fixing why your drain is going slightly too slow. We need to look for the very base of the problem. But one of my favorite marketing pieces was talking about how the tube that goes from under the English Channel was not fast enough. And they were trying to develop a way to, okay, we need to make it faster. People say that the trip is too long and that it feels bad. So they tried and spent all this money trying to make it faster. And they're like, that's not the problem. The problem was not that the train didn't go fast enough. It's that people got bored on the train.
Interesting.
And so it was like, okay, the problem is, when you really think about what the problem is, it was this other thing. And like you said, okay, so the problem is not that it takes 8 seconds for somebody to respond necessarily. The problem is there's this gap of expectation. People just feel left hanging.
Correct. Yep.
And as long as you can fill it with something, you can bridge that gap.
Yeah.
So like, I think there's a great lesson for our members to be able to take that away. It's not necessarily always that there's that immediate problem isn't always the problem that needs to be solved, but it's that setting that expectation.
Oh, for sure. And I always go back to the problem we're solving. I mentioned in the beginning, it's missed phone calls. Businesses miss a lot of phone calls. But once you solve that problem, expectations continue to go up. Okay, we've solved the problem of missed phone calls. How do we fix latency, which I mentioned? Then you solve that, and it's like, okay, how do you fix this integrating deeply into my workflow? How does it integrate with the system I'm using? So we've solved that as well. And not perfectly. We're not perfect by any means, but as we continue to scale, we're always solving these problems. So we're always listening to our customers. And that's the most important thing. As we're building and improving, it's always, what are our customers saying? Because we've got this full development roadmap of things we could continue to build, and we are continuing to build. But at the end of the day, it's what are our customers saying and what do they want? That's what we prioritize. So that's important.
Yeah. So I love that. How have you seen that continue to play out with like the Nexstar members of identifying, because obviously like there's that shift from you have the Nexstar members as your customer, but Nexstar members have their customers.
Yes.
And so like, how have you seen the tools that you've been developing and these kind of like superpowers that you guys have being able to be executed by the membership?
Yeah. Well, I will say this, that the Nexstar members are an extremely educated customer base. And it's because of events like this. It's because of the trainings you guys do. So we're always hearing from our clients and the Nexstar members, what else can you guys automate? What other AI are you guys building? Because we want to automate some back office solutions. Automating phone calls is great. Automating chat on the website is great. Some of these other things that we're doing. But what else are you guys building to automate? And that is something that specifically comes from the Nexstar members because they're always thinking ahead. How do we optimize our business? So with that, I mean, we're not just building an AI voice, AI chat platform. We're building more of an agentic layer on top of their existing FSM or some internal things that we're building. How do you automate some of your back office systems? How do you automate your dispatching? I know there's platforms out there. How do you automate the job creation, the invoice process? So there's a lot of additional things that we're building that we're extremely excited about. Voice is our core product of what we're doing now, but it's continuing to evolve and transition. And we all know AI is here to stay. It's continuing to evolve. And there's a lot of exciting things coming. So.
Yeah, there's a lot. And I think the most interesting thing to me is about how it's changing the team dynamic of what it is within the Nexstar member companies, where historically maybe it was, okay, well, we have a team and we're going to kind of go educate them. And but ultimately it's the core team of people that we work with that are employed by the company.
100%.
But it has changed now where your team is not just the people you work with, it's the agencies you work with, it's the partners you have, it's the AI tools that you use. All of those play into the team and it changes that dynamic.
100%. I want to touch on that and tell a story actually. I don't know if this client, I think they're a Nexstar member, the one who mentioned this. I won't say the name of the company, but I'm pretty sure it was a Nexstar member. And they told me that they retrained their entire CSR team because we're not looking to replace a bunch of CSRs. We always go back to the problem we're solving. We're solving the problem of missed phone calls. So one of our clients told me the story in the summertime. They retrained their entire CSR team to say, hey, we're an HVAC company. Let's not rush through every single phone call and try getting to the next one. We have the AI as the backup now. We know the AI's booking rate is as good as a human. In some cases, for some clients, it's even better.
Yeah.
And they've retrained their entire team to give their customers the attention they deserve on the human side because they know that they have the AI as the backup to follow up with them right away. So that's been an interesting learning. I like to share that story because everyone's like, specifically CSRs, they're like, oh my gosh, is this going to take my job? The answer is no. It's here to enhance the workflow of the call center.
Yeah, 100%. And I think that that's something that's really interesting of it's not just missed phone calls that you guys deal with. Like, and what I'm hearing from you as you're saying this is that the whole point of what ZyraTalk is doing is allowing the members to get back to the things that only they can do. Yes, correct. A missed phone call we can help with because you're off doing something that only you can do. So what are the things that the company can automate to allow the human touch to continue to exist and in fact be even more powerful because you're not worried about missing what is like you feel is maybe essential. So like you're not worried about that as you're going to have a face-to-face with a customer. You're constantly thinking about the phone that's ringing behind you.
Yeah, spot on. I agree with that 100%.
It's beautiful. So do you have any other stories that you have of like the way that you've been able to do that or the way that you've seen Nexstar members utilize these superpowers that ZyraTalk can help provide for them?
I do. I mean, I have a lot of stories. A lot of stories from our clients. I'll tell another one. And in the CSR position is one that naturally has quite a bit of turnover. So we hear stories from our clients some people use a call center, a human call center, and you never know what agent is going to answer. We have a lot of answering services that actually white label our platform as well.
Okay.
But I will say there was one client specifically, big client. Pretty sure they're a Nexstar member as well. They do about $30 million a year, and they came to me and they were like, "Hey, we've lost 7 CSRs this year. We've also hired 7. It's this constant turnover of trying to maintain the position." And they got to a point where they're like, "Let's implement AI and see what happens here." Mm-hmm. And as they lost another CSR, they were like, "You know what? We're not as stressed anymore because now we know we have the backup. We know what the booking rate is. And we're also able to attribute revenue to the AI phone calls." So like if you go to our website, the first call on there, that's a phone call where we attributed the revenue to it, and it turned into I think a $23,000 or $24,000 job. And that's something that is extremely valuable because everyone wants to know, how much money is this actually making me? So when we're able to integrate with a Service Titan or a House Call Pro or whatever it is and be able to match back the revenue and show the return that we were actually able to bring them, that's been a huge win and something that we've recently been rolling out for clients. So being able to prove that out is big. In that story, going back to that client, in just a month for them, I think it was the summertime, we were able to attribute about $500,000 in revenue of AI phone calls that it was touching. So pretty wild. When I saw that, I was like shocked. So
yeah, it's
like,
you really used that tool in a way that I didn't think was possible. That's so cool.
So exciting stuff.
Yeah. And yeah, I think that, like you said, it really allows you, there's not only that immediate impact of, like you said, $500,000 in additional calls.
Oh, it's instant.
There's that backup of how much better am I doing somewhere else that's maybe that intangible that allows you to say, like, there's other things that are continuing to go better because we have a backup, because I have a safety net.
100%. I'll go back to another story and another use case. Some of our clients have shifted to using our AI as more of their frontline in their initial answering. And with that, they're not getting rid of their CSR team, but their CSRs can be the backup and they can focus on additional tasks. We're all in the shoulder season right now, so let's have CSRs doing outbound. Pull a list out of Service Titan. What are the water heaters that you replaced 8 to 12 months ago? Let's start calling on those customers and remind them, hey, it's due for a flush. Let's run through another home checklist. Do you have any leaky faucets, any toilets that are running? When's the last time you had your sewer checked? So it becomes an outbound selling opportunity, and we've seen that open up a little bit more of clients who are using us. So there's these different intangibles. You got to think about other use cases that your team can be doing, especially during the shoulder season. If phones aren't ringing, what else can we be doing to drive business?
Yeah. 100%. That's something that on my calls as the digital marketing coach, when I'm talking, a lot of times they're like, nobody's looking for us. There's nothing there. And I'm like, well, the line I always use is, well, short of like doing some overtime where you go and smash up AC units with a baseball bat, like we can't really create that demand.
That's one strategy.
But it is that you deal with the wind in the sails. You're a ship, you're trying to get to where you go, and you can make the sails big, but if that wind isn't there, no matter how big the sails are, you're not going to be able to move forward.
Yeah.
So you have to have something to fall back on that will push you forward and will drive you, some motor, somebody rowing the boat for you.
For sure.
And it sounds like the tools that you guys are providing and the tools that are available to our members allow more time for those relationships to be grown, because those relationships are the things that you have to cash in on when there's no wind in the sails.
Oh, 100%.
And this sounds like a way to help cash in on those relationships that you've built.
Yep. 100%. You're spot on. I agree with everything you're saying. It also goes back to like our industry experience, being in the industry for 11 years and knowing the pain points throughout the year that we solve for our customers. We're able to come up with these ideas and help our clients as well. So
have you seen in any of like the dealings back and forth? I don't know. So I'm in uncharted territories here in my boat, but
yeah, bring it on.
I know that a lot of the members that I've been talking to over the past month, even over the last kind of quarter, have said like the swings, what we could normally use as the waves of summer heat and winter cold, are wild. Where I'm from in Minnesota, we had a super mild summer, and now we're setting records for heat in October. It's in the 90s, and like so. Being able to not adjust and know, hey, when we normally predicted the wind wasn't going to be in the sails is now changing.
Yeah.
So how does an automated solution potentially help make sure that, hey, no matter when that happens, you have something ready to go?
Well, I mean, during the summertime, we have data at scale with hundreds of thousands of conversation going through our platform. So we kind of know, okay, how busy was the summer? How busy was it actually this summer? Or how rough is the shoulder season? And I will say, like, our usage is it's down in September, and that comes with the shoulder season. This was all expected, but it's down a little bit more than I expected. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's people in the audience where they're like, man, we're struggling for calls right now. And just know we're seeing that data at scale where usage is just a little bit lower than what we've seen in previous years. Summertime was, I would say it was an average summer. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, our phones are ringing off the hook. But I mean, there were definitely, there were weeks where it was like, wow, we had like 20,000 calls in a day.
Yeah.
Like just crazy numbers. So, hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, it does. And like, I love that you have this data that can be utilized to say, hey, we are kind of seeing this because we always, it's something that I feel like our members feel, but have a hard time putting into words. And it's like, oh, it feels like we're not getting as much, or it feels like there's less there. But to be able to quantify that, like you said, and put it into numbers can really help us understand what the next thing is, instead of just, hey, I'm going to throw spaghetti at the wall and try to see what happens because I don't really know what the problem is. Yeah. This sounds like an additional layer. So is there any way that you, like, how does ZyraTalk work with the members in order to help them see, hey, this is what's going on. This is a level of information that maybe you didn't see in your day-to-day, but we can see because we have that special insight.
Yeah, I mean, we're huge on our customer success, customer support, and I will say I'll be the first to say we are not perfect, but we try to do a really good job of talking to our clients, and our CS team is it's growing and it's a decent size. We are talking to our clients every single day, and myself as one of the leaders in the company, I'm talking to our CS team and explaining this data to them. Hey, shoulder season seems to be a little more rough this year. You can share that data with our clients or share this data at scale with our clients. So it comes down to talking to our customers on a regular basis. So yeah.
Nice. So I want to get back to something that we had talked about at the beginning of you being the president and CMO.
Yes, I didn't mean to dodge the question.
No, it's totally fine. I think you told some amazing stories, but like what drove you specifically to think I need to stay in marketing? This is where my attention needs to be sat. Why is marketing so important?
Yeah. I mean, we're all operators and business owners in this room. Leads are the lifeblood of our business. We have to continue to generate leads, and it's the same for us. Like, we have to be at these events, generate leads with our clients, or talk to our customers on a daily basis. It's so important. So me as the CMO, that's what I'm responsible, is generating demand for our company. So coming to these events, we've got a great field marketing team in the back, and they're going to, I think we'll do about 50 events this year. They're traveling pretty much every week, 52 weeks in the year. I mean, they're traveling all the time.
Building those relationships.
Cassie on our team told me, she's like, I'm home and average like 10 days out of the year. So when it comes to marketing, this is an industry where it's such a handshake industry. We need to be in front of our customers, talking to them in person, not just Zoom calls all day. Like our sales process, it goes through Zoom, but we need to be meeting people in person, talking to them. As a marketer and in our industry, that's important to me. Yeah. But just being involved in the communities online as well, that's really important to me as well. But I will answer the question because you mentioned, hey, I usually see people who are president and CEO. Like, what happened there? So the three founders of our company, it's me. I'm an identical twin. So it's me, my brother, and our other partner, Ahmad. We randomly started and we're like, okay, Ahmad's the CEO. I'm the CMO. Brian's the COO. As we continued to scale, I got very involved with our customers on a day-to-day basis. We have a ton of partners as well. And it was kind of a natural fit where it's like, hey, maybe we should call you the president and CMO. Okay. I am not big on titles at all, but it's something that we're like, hey, it probably makes sense just from an optics perspective. But again, titles don't really mean a lot to me. It's just I still focus on generating demand, talking to our customers. It's just kind of a fit.
It's not what they call you, it's what you do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
No, and it's wonderful to hear. I feel the same way. Every conversation is a marketing piece. Everything we do, even me sitting here talking with my members, is how Nexstar kind of puts itself out there. So thanks. I think that was a wonderful insight. Thank you again for your time.
Can I say one more thing about the future?
Yes, definitely. You have one more thing.
For everyone in the room or everyone watching in the future, keep an eye out, not just for AI voice, AI chat, but what are these other agentic platforms in workflows that you can be automating in your business. It's definitely what is coming in the future. So I'll just say for the future, make sure to look out for that. There's going to be other agentic workflows that are coming, and we're building a lot of them. I'm sure other people are as well. It's just important to stay educated and know what's out there. What can you automate in your business efficiently?
Beautiful. How can people continue to engage with you?
Yeah, my email is brad@ZyraTalk.com. You can reach out to me there. You can request a demo on our website, talk to one of our sales reps. If you want me to be on it specifically, you can do that.
Put that request in.
Yeah, or visit our booth as well. Cassie and Mariah will be at our booth today and for the entirety of this event. I'll be here for the afternoon. I got to catch a flight and be back home this afternoon, though. A lot going on. But yeah, talk to me as well. I'd love to talk to our clients and other Nexstar members.
Beautiful. Thank you. Round of applause for Brad Scruggs. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening. Head on over to youtube.com/Nexstar Network to get your podcast fix and subscribe to get updated on all the newest releases.